Leo, welcome to your end of June 2021 General Tarot Update. It's Raina here. There's some fireworks going outside. I think it's professional, so it's, it just keeps going on and on. So hopefully you can't really hear that in the background. I was just thinking of that movie by Joan Crawford called Queen Bee. I think it's kind of funny. The heart of the matter is the Five of Wands. So I'm going to bring in the past position as well, which is the Queen of Wands. And this is a card that in the past position can even speak to, this is Leo royalty, and that can include in terms of employment, having a position of authority, whether you've gotten a promotion or what have you. Sometimes this is growing a backbone to me, or otherwise ascending into your rightful place of feeling confident, which is something that Leos tend to demonstrate just naturally. But even Leo people, if they are, dealing with certain situations, can be a little bit less confident and more unsure of themselves. One of the big culprits in that astrologically is if you have inner planets in Virgo, the moon and the rising sign definitely could be that. If your moon is in Pisces, rising sign Pisces, Pisces, Virgo, but definitely those inner planets, because Virgo is a sign that is very perfectionistic, and so nothing is ever good enough, and they tend to be very self-critical. So the bottom line is that you may have that side to yourself. Maybe it only comes out in relationships or what have you, and your professional life is very self-assured. You're very self-assured in that. But we do have as the heart of the matter the Five of Wands. So that is a card of a competitive environment. Sometimes we could say this is a card of conflict. And so with that as the central theme, what I would say is that if you were in a workplace situation where you did not put your foot down and you got walked all over, it's hard for me to imagine that scenario, but I'm sure there are examples where that might have occurred. You very likely realize that that was on you, that you were doing this thing that had the worst possible, consequence, which was you being less than what you came here to be, not being in that dynamic place that a Leo person naturally inhabits. And Leos tend to be very successful because they have confidence, because they have a lot of ambition, and they are hardworking. So that's a great combination. But if you are in an environment where you're basically being thrown to the dogs, and it's like a dog-eat-dog environment, that's not good for anybody. So in that scenario, I could see somebody bowing out or feeling like, I don't know if this is really right for me. So, in any case, that's one of the things that I could see with the Five of Wands. Also, just like a toxic environment, you know. But on the bright side, this could possibly be a situation where you're finally in a job where you're among your peers, where there are other people that are at your caliber. And so even though you are competing, there's a friendly quality to it. And it's kind of like you're bringing out the best in each other. So it doesn't have to be that this is some kind of a toxic situation. Now, I noticed that the cards on top are flanked, the Five of Wands is flanked by two queens. The higher message is the Queen of Pentacles. This is the queen of her castle, the mother, the person who may be working, but perhaps from a home environment. And what I could also interpret that these two cards are there is if you have brought in a mother-in-law, or maybe it's your own mother, and that has created conflict within your household, brought in where she's living with you, or she is more active, perhaps if you have given birth. And if a man is watching this, no, you can't give birth. Sorry to tell you that, but what I meant was, or your partner has given birth. Or you could say if somebody has adopted a child is in the household that you're taking care of. This, if a mother or a mother-in-law has been helping out, there could be a clash between the biological mother and the grandmother, because they're like queen bees. Who's going to be the one who has the most sway? The grandmother is the expert, or she, at least in her mind, she's the expert because she's already been there and done that. So she may feel like she knows best. I joke a lot that I got some crap from a viewer in the past for kind of bad-mouthing the Queen of Wands, and she just let me have it. And every time I get this card now, I laugh about it, thinking about her, watching another one of my readings and giving me a second go around. But I have a feeling she may not be watching anymore. I may have chased her off because of my disrespecting the Queen of Wands. What I basically said that time, I'm sure, something to the effect of that the Queen of Wands can be a drama queen, because this is a fire energy. I associate with Leo. It's supposed to be Sag, but whatever. But they're both fire signs, as is Aries. And fire energy is full of themselves. I'm a sun in Sag. Doesn't mean somebody's confident. There's a big difference. You can be full of yourself and be very insecure. What it just means is that the self is something that the person is constantly trying to promote. They're trying to promote their outlook on life, whatever they're into. So what I'm reading here is that somebody is creating this conflict. Could be the clash of these two people, but the point is that you are the queen of your castle. And I'll say this even as a man. You're the queen of your castle too. You're the one who has the last word on these matters. It doesn't matter what this person says. Now, if that person is a caretaker to your child, you have to respect that person. If they are arrogant, which can sometimes happen with fire, And that is leading into disrespectfulness towards you or your partner. So, you know, I had to pause this, so now I kind of lost my train of thought. But basically, you have the last word. This is about you. This isn't about somebody else's, you know, desire. You know what they want, if they want to dominate the situation, because the Queen of Wands can be a very positive person in many ways, but they might be a tad domineering because they do want to control what's going on. So it's kind of like important to be able to identify this, because sometimes that's what can lead to confusion, where you're like, well, I can't say that this person is really like evil because they're taking care of my child, or they are helping to pay for a down payment for our home. And yet it's causing conflict. It's causing some kind of a rift. And so we have to do something about this. I'm the queen of my castle, no matter what. And nobody's going to come in between me and my partner. What crosses you is the King of Swords. Now, this could be like, if this is a mother-father dynamic, this could be that you have a narcissist with somebody who has checked out. This is somebody who is emotionally checked out, perhaps, and they are not going to put their foot down. This could be your partner. If this is his mother, he doesn't want to face it, so he's kind of like, you know, in his own world. He's not really sensitive to your needs. This might also be a sign that, like, for instance, if this is in the workplace and there's like a head boss and that person is not reeling in the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands may be somebody who just came onto the scene and is your boss, like a female boss, and she's not really she's not creating harmony in the workplace, to say the least. Maybe she's trying to pit one person against the other, because that's like the inferior way of motivating people, is to try to prey upon their, you know, sibling rivalry all grown up by favoring one person and getting the other people jealous, and then they want to compete and they want to show that they have what it takes. So the King of Swords might be the person who is in charge of the whole operation, and they have checked out. They're not going to do anything. Maybe they have kind of wanted to have somebody be the bad guy because they don't want to deal with it. So I could see all of those scenarios. So if that is, and by the way, this King of Swords person could be gaslighting you, could be, you know, getting inside your head and telling you that you're not seeing what you're seeing. And that can obviously be very frustrating, because you might be like, I totally know that there's something wrong with this picture, but you can't put your finger on it. You can't really articulate it. And yet you still feel like it shouldn't be this way. And the bottom line is that, you know, people are going to do what they want to do at the end of the day, whether it's right or wrong. And the only thing you can do is act within your own sphere of sovereignty, what you are capable of changing, and not worrying about what other people are doing, because it'll take care of itself in one way or the other. What is coming in is the Fool card, and this is about absolutely new beginnings. Of course, you are going to have your solar return in July, or, you know, technically when your birthday hits, so July or August. And this will be a new cycle for you, and you get to decide like what you're going to do. If you want to just go in a whole new direction, I mean, what I love are that the last two cards are major arcana cards. And we have the outcome, the sun card. So this is basically everything positive that you can think of. Success, love, children, joy, prosperity, healing. And this comes from you going down a new path. So being a fixed sign, you may be nervous about making changes in your life, Leo, but it sounds to me like it's something that you're really being called to do, that really feels right. You know, astrologically, a person who is a Leo has Taurus in your 10th house of career, okay? So Uranus is in Taurus. And what that means is that it's creating a lot of surprises for Leos when it comes to their career. So there could be like a sudden break. There could be, and when I say break, it could go both ways. Either you just like leave very suddenly, or you could have a big break, like, you know, in show business, where you all of a sudden you're famous. You know, 10th house could be recognition, you know, and on a massive level, of course, that would be fame. But just that sense of like, you know, hitting it big in your field, and it seems like it comes out of nowhere. It's not just this gradual building of your power, your success. So the bottom line is that when Uranus is in your 10th house, you have to be ready to kind of go roll with the changes, because they might be coming and you might not see them when they arrive. So you don't want to be blindsided by anything. So anyway, I hope that this resonated. The sun card to end this reading is super positive. And so whatever it is that you're going through, if you're going through some kind of a conflict and it might be unpleasant, Leo, just remember that there are better days ahead. So if you would like a personal reading, especially when it comes to astrological, the astrological area, I do natal chart interpretations, sometimes in tandem with transits, but you can just get your chart analyzed by itself. I have, combo readings. Please click on the link below for more information. I hope you have a great rest of June. It's going fast, that's for sure. Take care. Bye.